Hi, I was just thinking as I went to press record, it's band day. But this is what I was thinking was like, oh, it's also the week before Halloween, and on Instagram, I'm putting up all these costumey things. Did I think to put on a costume right now? No. Did I think to use a green rubber band so I could pretend it was a snake? Also no. Do I want to be a rhythmic gymnast? Maybe. It's not bad. Or one of my personal heroes, Indiana Jones. The crappiest whip the world has ever known. Me. Okay, instead I'm just going to be a Pilates instructor for Halloween. Let's do a rubber band class. All right. Bands behind your back. Are you wondering why I don't stop the video and go put a costume on? I don't have any time. It's now. Oh, by the way, let me watch time. It's now or never. Okay, we're going to crisscross the band in front of you. I'm a very busy girl today. Okay, I want you to wrap the band at the height about where your breastbone ends. If you're wearing a bra, about the height of your bra line. Start with your elbows in by your sides, your palms turned up. We are going to go through our focused breathing to get centered and also do external rotation at your shoulder. I want you to take a breath in first and feel the rib cage expand into the band in every direction. When you exhale, you're going to rotate your upper arms, bringing your fist farther apart to stretch the band. And then as you inhale, you're going to turn back in. As you turn out, you're going to squeeze the band against your ribs, helping the exhale. And when you breathe in, you're going to push into the band to draw those hands back. Exhale, compress the abs, lift the pelvic floor, stay tall through the spine. Inhale to return. I'm just going to go sideways for a sec. I want you to be aware of the alignment of everything. Try to keep a neutral wrist. I'm staying palms up, and I'm trying to make the movement horizontal. Try to deviate from going down or up, which are opportunities to recruit extra muscles we don't want. 2 more times, keeping your chest nice and wide. Inhale back, last one, rotating out and return. Leave the band behind your back, but uncross it. Loosen up your grip a little bit, and actually, I'm taking it up just a touch higher, so it's right under that bottom tip of the shoulder blades. Elbows tucked in by your sides, arms out at about a 45-degree angle. You're going to reach your arms out to the side for a bend and stretch. So the hands are still well in my peripheral vision, and then inhale to return. Exhale, reach out. So we're just going to start out with a few of those. I'm going to turn sideways to you. And the next thing we're going to add is a small plie. Keep your weight over your heels and flex your knees and hips and then rise back up. So this is a limited range of motion as you're going up and down. If you do work to stay vertical and keep your weight over your heels, your ankle range of motion will define how low you can go. If you feel pressure in your knees, you're shifting forward probably. So just bring that weight back. One more time like that. Now let's make it a squat. So now you go a little deeper because we're going to hinge forward at the hips, send the hips back to balance out, the knees going forward, and then inhale back up. Exhale as you drop down to squat. Inhale, lift. And when I say play with this, be safe and all, but don't aim to make it the exact same depth every time. Explore different amounts of deepnesses. I still want your weight on your heels, but if you want to linger at the bottom, you could always go forward and back to see why I mean that. Usually when you shift your weight towards your toes, you do feel more pressure in your knees. When it's back in your heels, you get more of the pressure, the workload in the belly of the muscle. One more time. And lowering down and then back up. All right. Sorry, that's a lot of reps. I hope your arms still have a tiny bit more juice. I want you to go back down to the squat, but without straightening your elbows. All right. Now we're going to do a little cat stretch from here. The same grip of the band, but I want you to bring your arms a little closer so you're reaching forward when you cat stretch. As you exhale, you're going to flex your spine and reach your arms away from you. Inhale, you're going to extend your spine, tuck your elbows back in. So when I'm flexing forward, as I push the arms away, the shoulder blades should spread apart. Inhale to tuck back in. And then from the pelvis, you're getting that rock under, weight still over the heels. Inhale, return. The weight in the heels means that my pelvis tucks and my weight comes back to stay loaded. And you might feel closer to vertical like the plie position. And return. Exhale, flex. and back. Just one more time, rounding forward and back. Whew. All right. Come down to your knees. You're going to put the band on the floor perpendicular to the direction of the mat, roughly the middle there. Take one foot, place the ball of the foot, I don't know why I'm talking so fast, and the toes on the band. And then you're going to grab the ends in your hands. I have a very long band, so this is going to be a strong muscle thing because you're doing legs, so you might need to choke up a bit. But you're going to come down into a quadruped position. Oops, I overestimated my strength. And then just set yourself up with your shoulders over your wrists, trapping that band to the ground with the heel of your hand and then in between your thumb and first finger. Okay, make your back nice and flat like a table. Brace away from the floor like you're in a plank. Extending the leg in the band. We're going to reach back to hip height on the exhale phase. Inhale to tuck your knee under. Exhale, reach away. Inhale, tuck back in. We're going to do that 3 more times like that. And then we're going to add flexion and extension, like the cat you did, to this movement. When you tuck your knee under, flex slightly. Now, it doesn't have to be a lot for this one. And then I want the extension on the kick up. You're going to tuck, lifting your abs, and reach away. The reason I say it might be shallow, you still have to relate to the tension in your band, and you don't want it to go totally slack, so you just kind of go to that edge and reach away. One more time. It's a gentle exercise, and reach away. All right, tuck it in for a sec. Get back to a flat back. We're just going to do one more variation, and then we'll switch legs. You're going to glide your leg out, but now on the mat. And we're going to take it side to side, making a crescent moon. So first, you're going to lift it, bring it a little wider than the mat, and then you're going to make an arc about in line with your other foot. So again, you're kind of sensing the band. Sometimes we do this with no band and we go a lot farther. But just play with the limit. Out wide, right across midline. Out wide and midline. Let's do 3. Tap it over. 2. One more time. I found that to be very fun for my abs, not really my legs. All right, we're going to switch legs. So you can switch over by putting the other one in, taking the first one out, or if you need to reset it, you just lay it out again. Do that again. I like a reset myself because then I know it's on my toes right. Okay, let's head down to the quadruped pose. I just got scared for a second. I was worried I was not recording. Phew. Okay. Again, I have no extra time today. Push away from the floor and just get yourself braced and try to sense the alignment that the head, ribs, and hips are all even with each other. Try to maintain that. Let's shoot that one leg back on your exhale. You're going to take it up to hip height. Inhale, tuck it under, hovering off the floor, and exhale away. Inhale, back under. When you're connecting with the breath on this movement, think of the abs pulling up from underneath you and then extending the hip. One more with the flat back. Add that shallow cat now. So I'm just going to lift up into flexion as my knee comes under. I'm going to extend and lift the leg. I'm going to tuck it in, dropping my head and tail towards each other. Lift from the heart. Really push up through the arms and tuck in. Your arms can push up in both phases. It helps you drop your head further, like you're going to do a handstand, and then it helps you push your chest up to resist the collapse. One more. And then up. All right, tuck in for a quick realign. Back to flat back. Okay, now you're going to take that leg out. Just start with it low for a second just so you can get organized. And side to side now. So that little crescent moon shape, out wider than the mat, and then in and just tap behind the other foot. Okay, so that inside end of the band is just every once in a while going to wonk you in the ankle, but gently, or just barely touch it. 3 more times. And 2. Excuse me, one more time. A little stuffy. And relax. All right, let's get that off of you. Down onto your back. Okay, so in the next exercise, which will be the ab prep, ball up the ends of the band make it a tension that you could reach your arms straight out and have what feels like a good challenge there. But I want you to ball up the ends. 1, so we have a different grip. It just doesn't feel like we're always just doing a pinch. But also 2, so that the tail of it doesn't flap you in the face. Okay. Knees bent, little space in between your feet. Start with your arms over your chest and send the arms overhead about half the distance towards the floor. You want to get to a spot where you feel a little stretch in your lats, which you achieve by holding your ribs down against the mat while the arm reaches back. Okay. When you breathe in, I want you to bend your elbows. Bring them right down by your sides. When you exhale, you're going to curl your head and shoulders up to ab prep and then push your arms out to the sides. As you inhale, you're going to bend your elbows, try to keep the lift of the upper body. Exhale, lower your head, and then reach your arms back. As you inhale, bring the elbows down by your sides so the band is loose. Exhale, you're going to curl up the head and shoulders and reach your arms at an angle like you're reaching out to hug someone, so a nice wide grip. Inhale, tuck your elbows in, keep looking at your knees. Exhale, lower your head, reach your arms back. Inhale, tuck the elbows down. Exhale, nod your chin, flex forward, push out the arms. Inhale, bend your elbows in by your sides. Exhale, lower back down. 2 more times. Inhale, tuck the elbows down. Curl up, reach out. Hey, by the way, the last time is going to be a longer set. Bend your elbows. I forgot about that. Lower back down. So let's get up the same way. Tuck your elbows in. Curl up your head and shoulders and push out. Now try to maintain that flexion. Inhale, we're going to tuck back into the sides and then reach the arms out long. Inhale, bend. Exhale, reach away. Bend. Reach away. Lift up a little more. One more time. Reach away. Now tuck in. Lower your head. Go down. All right, second set of the ab prep. Let's do it on 2 breaths instead of 4 breaths, but same arm pattern. We're just going to keep it moving. Inhale before you start. Exhale, bend the elbows, curl up the head and push out. Inhale, bend the elbows, lower the head, reach back. Exhale, tuck, curl forward, and press out into the band. Inhale, bend, lower the head, reach over. And then curl forward, push the arms out. Bend your elbows, lay back, go to that lat stretch. Tuck your elbows down, nod the chin, curl up, push out. Inhale, lower down. You're staying up this time. Exhale, tuck your elbows, curl up, reach out. Now just the arms. Inhale, bend. Exhale, push away. Bend, push away. In and out. Drop that pubic bone. Try to resist tucking. Last one. Lower your head. I was yelling at myself on that. And relax. Okay. We're going to flip over onto your stomach for a little extension. We are going to bring the band. Bum, 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 bum. And as you're setting up right now, we're going to put the band, like, let's say, under your throat, under your collarbones, whatever height it ends up at, or maybe right under your face, actually. You're going to start with your elbows bent. And tension check again. I want you to try going out to the side. That's going to be your first variation, so just make sure that tension feels okay. Now, before we do that, just keep the hands and the band pinned down to the floor. I've got it woven in between my thumb and first finger to keep the grip when I get going. I'm going to take you through extending your upper back a couple times without the complication of the band, just to make sure you're in the right muscle group. This is like kind of a less is more. Like less of your back will give you more sensation in the right muscles, which are the upper and mid back. We're going to try to get out of the low back closer to the pelvis muscles. Okay, on that note, take a breath in to prepare. When you exhale, begin to lift your head and press down into your forearms. Pull your shoulder blades back to help you lift your chest off the mat, and stop when you still have 1 or 2 ribs in contact. All right, so that's the height of this. Now you're going to hold for an inhale, and I want you to let the breath fill you up so it's bringing your chest forward. Then when you exhale, you're going to lower back down, compress your abs, and then feel the ribs release one at a time till you're flat. Do that one more time. As you inhale at the bottom, try to get longer, reaching your crown away from your toes. Now keep that tractioning as you start to lift up. You can pull the abs in again, but now it's like the abs are working to hold the low rib down as the anchor. Now put a little weight into your forearms. Breathe in, feel your chest wide, your shoulder blades pulling back, and then exhale, and we're just going to gradually deflate. As the air leaves your body, let each rib drop, then your neck and your head. Okay, now I want you to feel that alone, because now we're going to stay moving up and down in coordination with these arms going out and in. So you're going to press up while your elbows are bent. You're going to come down into a hover and at the same time take your arms off the mat and reach out to the sides. Then as you inhale, bend your elbows, catch yourself and come back up. Exhale, go low, reach the arms out wide. Bend your elbows, lift up. Exhale, reach out. Inhale, push up. One more time. Exhale, reach out. Then again, hit that extension again, and then come all the way back down. Now, choke in by about a handful from each side. All right, now we're going to do the same top. You're going to reach arms overhead as your bottom, so we look like the superhero. So you're going to inhale, push yourself up, and get that extension. Now, when you drop into your hover, arms overhead, and just a little pull on that band. Inhale, bend your elbows and lift, right? Because it's tighter, so you really can't pull wide. Exhale, lower down to hover, stretch out, feel the outer part of the arm. Inhale up. Exhale, pull the abs in, press out. Inhale, lift. 2 more times. Exhale, take it nice and low. And inhale, catch yourself to push up. 1 more time. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. And then come all the way down. Get your band. Sit back into the shell stretch. Hips onto your heels, round your spine. I'm showing it with my feet flexed because I'm getting a little cramp in my foot, but you can do it with your toes pointed if you're so lucky to not have a cramp right now. Breathe in. Stay here and exhale. Let's do that again. When you breathe in, try to breathe into your back. See if you can sense the area you just worked out. And when you exhale, compress your abs more and notice how that intensifies the stretching of your back in a different way. Take 1 more breath in, and then you can roll up into a sitting position when you exhale. All right, we're going right back down on your back. We're going to do the 100. I'm going to show you 2 ways this band can be used. If you're the kind of person who likes to do a tabletop leg, you're going to put the band over your shins and you're going to boing, 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 boing. If you're the kind of person that likes to do a straight leg, you're going to place it on the balls of your feet and toes so that you can still work with the plantar flexed ankle. And then I'd still like you to start in a tabletop leg, but ready to extend the legs. So just a little looseness to the band because you're going to stretch it. Okay, pick your pose. Now let's get your upper body up. When you exhale, tip your chin down, curl forward and reach the arms level with your shoulders. If you're going out to straight legs, go ahead and put those out there. Now let's bounce. Inhale for 5 small bounces, and then exhale for 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep gazing at your thighs. This is my favorite version because then you can feel that springiness you always want to feel in your arms. We want to just keep this flutter nice and fast because it's a distraction or it's a challenge that makes it harder to hold the stability of your upper body. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now lift the pelvic floor. Then feel the expansion of the inhale. Then squeeze those inner thighs. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slide the ribs down towards your hips. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2 more sets, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little space between your blades. Last 10. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees back in. Drop your head. Take your band off. And if you like, you just give a little squeeze of your knees into your chest. All right. Now, for everyone, we're going to do a roll up. And just from where you are, the way you're going to transition into it, put 1 foot into the band and lay that leg out. Whoops. Maybe be closer to the center of your band. But anyway, when you lay that leg out, then you can put the other one in. I don't have enough room. Anyway, so we'll work with both feet in the band, arms by your sides. And I want you to choke up. We're going to do a bicep curl as part of this. So if you choke up so there's just a little tension, even when your arms are straight, you're going to have to wrap it around your hands and turn your palms. So I've got the ends coming out where my pinky is, and at my anchor points really where my thumb and first finger are. Okay. When you start out this exercise, it begins just like you're going back into that 100 again. You're going to nod your chin, curl up your head and shoulders, but now we're going to bend your elbows as you do your sit-up. And then the band works your bicep, but it becomes a support till you get close to it, and now you'll feel all the tension fade away. So when you start to roll back, if you maintain your bicep curl, while the band gets stretched, it's helping you come down slow, so you can really work on tucking and then unraveling and extending the arms as you lay your head down. It's going to be an inhale, nod your chin, curl up your head and shoulders. Now exhale, bend your elbows, keep increasing your flexion, and stay in your C shape, get all the way onto your sit bones, and bend your knees if you can't. Then start to roll back from your pelvis first. And so you want to keep that C shape, let the pelvis make its motion, and then unravel the C shape as you extend your arms. Inhale, nod your chin, start to curl up. Exhale, slide your ribs towards your hips, tip your pubic bone up, and that helps encourage the flexion of the lower spine, and then we just take that whole shape forward. Inhale, start to roll back. Keep your feet flexed, look just higher than your toes. Exhale, unravel, lay out flat with long arms. Inhale, nod the chin, start to curl up. Exhale, bend your elbows. Keep scooping the abs in, keep your head dropped, and then inhale, start to roll back. Exhale, unravel to flat. One more full one. Nod the chin, start to curl up. Exhale, bend your elbows. Dive forward over your legs. Inhale, start to roll back. Keep that tension with you. Then release it, lower back down. Let's go all the way up. Nod your chin, start to curl forward. Bend the elbows again. Dive over your legs. And then sit up tall. Okay. Sometimes your pants fall down. Okay, we're going to leave it around your feet. We're going to do a half rollback variation that's similar to one we do on the reformer in the round back series, round back from the back rowing series. You can sit with your legs straight or put a slight bend in your knees if that helps you get up onto those sit bones. All right, now I'm going to change my grip a little bit. Nope, not at all. It's actually the same grip. I've just got my hands posed so that my knuckles are together, elbows are out to the sides. When you start with your half roll back, this begins as a support again. When you exhale, curl back your hips and bring your hands into your chest and then just round that lower spine. Okay, keep it rounded. Now when you breathe in, you're going to flip your hands down and then out to the sides to straighten your arms. Now when you exhale, you're going to round forward while you push your arms back, and now that becomes arm work. When you inhale, you're going to bend your elbows and then stack up to a vertical spine. And then I just go right back to there. Exhale, roll back, hands come into your chest. Inhale, you're going to flip your arms out to the sides. When you exhale, you're going to round forward with your upper body as you push your arms straight back behind you. From there, bend your elbows like you do in a tricep kickback and roll up to vertical. And then I just follow through, bring those knuckles together. Exhale, half roll back, hands into chest. Inhale, flip the arms out so palms face away. Exhale, round forward, push your arms back. You finish that with the palms facing each other. Inhale, stay over your sit bones. Bend your elbows, roll up to vertical, knuckles together. 2 more times. Exhale, half roll back, hands into chest. Inhale, flip your arms out. Exhale, dive forward, push those arms back. Inhale, bend your elbows, roll up, knuckles together. Last one, roll back, exhale. Inhale, arms reach out. Exhale, dive forward, press the arms back, bend your elbows, float back up to the top. Okay, now I'm going to crisscross my straps. I'm going to do a wide elbow row on the next one, and you're just going to stay vertical now. So the alignment of your head over your ribs, over your hips, and then your breathing will be how we get the isometric work in all the muscles that stabilize the trunk. Now for the arms, this is going to feel strong. So again, we'll be choked up, and you can play with this in the first few reps. On the exhale, bend your elbows wide away from your body, but at chest height rather than shoulder height. And then inhale, reach forward. And just keep repeating that. Exhale back. Inhale forward. So if you are not stable, we could have the effect of your back arching when you pull. So when I talk about the abs and that effect of your ribs over your hips, we're trying to resist the ribs thrusting forward by pulling the abs in with the breath. But now, pause. I want you to add extension on purpose. So make your goal staying on the sit bones. Now when you breathe in, you're going to bend your elbows, and I want you to lift from your heart to create a little upper back extension. Exhale to return. Resist leaning back and think of this more like a lifting up to see the ceiling. Exhale, return. As you inhale, pull your shoulder blades back and lift your heart, and return 2 more times. Inhale, up. Exhale, release. Last time, lift and release. All right, now I'm still going to have the band crossed, but I'm going to anchor one side against my knee, just like that. I'm doing the other one though. And then I'm going to be more in that choked up grip we did for the working arm. So now, kind of like the bow and arrow move, I'm going to bend just the one elbow and I'm going to twist. But again, I want to resist leaning back. So I'm going to stay right up on those sit bones and then turn forward. Let me show you one correctly before I show it to you wrong. Inhale, return. Exhale, twist. I can't resist the physical comedy, you know? And exhale, rotate and return. 4 more times on this side. I'm trying to root down into the sit bone on the side I'm twisting towards. That's a great reference point if you feel like I'm giving you too much to think about at once. One more time, twisting and release. Okay, adjust the tighty-loosey situation. So that becomes my anchor. This becomes my puller. See how it goes. On your exhale, rotate your upper body. You want to look back towards that elbow. Inhale, return. So most of the rotation comes through the ribs, neck, and head, but make sure you're using the combined effort of all those parts. So I push down into the sit bones. I'm tall through the lowest mid spine, twisting from the upper spine. Your low back doesn't really have a lot. I turned off 2 more times. I would say your low back doesn't have a lot of capacity to rotate. We really use that part of your spine to flex and extend. So there, relax. Okay. And time, Shibi is zipping by. I want to get you back up to standing. It was interesting, like all that sitting work, I feel like that's a lot of stabilization, like can work around the pelvis and the hips that I hadn't necessarily meant. Okay, but I mean it now. We're gonna stand on the band with one foot. Like so. All right, we're gonna do a couple balance exercises. By no accident, they are not just balance exercises. You're also gonna have some stabilization work for your trunk and in your shoulders so that this band's not floppy. In the first one, we're going to make goalpost arms. Now, what that looks like is going to be really different based on how long your band is. I'm working with a band that's probably 6 feet, I'm guessing, or more long. So I've got a little room, like I could go all the way up. Let's assume your band's a little shorter, and you're going to try to make something that looks like a goalpost. It could be this low, this high, just something that lets you hold a steady tension. Now, my arms are pushing up, but I want to drop my shoulders down at the same time. So sense that effect to make the goalpost, the ends go up, the center anchors down. Okay, put your weight into the foot that does not have the band. As you breathe in, you're going to lift the band leg into a march. And then when you exhale, you're going to press it back down to the floor. Inhale, transfer the weight to one leg. I'm taking my time with this to make it a challenging balance exercise. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Why do I pick things I don't do very well? Inhale up and exhale down. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last time, up and exhale down. Okay, take both ends of the band into the opposite hand. That arm's going to do an upward row, hand to armpit with a wide elbow, while this leg goes out to the side, still challenging your balance. As you exhale, you're going to reach out. Now, this hand has no job. Inhale, return. So jazz hands is fine. Or hand on your hip. Or just like available for whatever you need to help your balance. And up. So the other side we did 6. I'm just saying this out loud. We're going to do 4 more so that this is an 8er. Because I want this upward row to be something for you. Last 2. Lift. And 1 more time like that. And return. Other side. Let's go back to our first move. So I've got the legs parallel in creating that goalpost. Arms up, shoulders down, elbows a little forward of my body. When you're ready, you take an inhale breath as you go up into the march. Fill up with that inhale for your balance. Exhale, press down to the floor. Inhale, root into the stabilizing foot. Float the other leg up. Exhale, down to the floor. And inhale, lift. Make sure when you go down, you're fully grounding into both feet. So you have to recreate the conditions again. And then lower. Oh my God, I just got something in my eye. 2 more times. As if this couldn't get any harder. One more. Keep those arms firm, keep those shoulders heavy, keep that neck super giraffe long, and then back down. Second set, so much harder on the arms. Okay, check out your upward row position. This hand's got choices. On your exhale, bring your hand up to the underarm area while the leg goes out. Inhale, bring them back down. Challenge yourself to keep the motion as smooth as possible. If you go slow to lift, try to go slow to come down. And exhale up. Inhale, lower. You got four more to go. We still want a general sense of heaviness in the top of the shoulder. So as the arm's coming up, hand will get to the pit, but think of that elbow going wide and up. Last two. Exhale. Inhale, lower. One more time like that. Up and out. And then back down. All right. It's my favorite exercise of always. You're going to stand on the end of the band with both feet. This is so much easier to do if you have a real long band. If your band is very short, don't stand on it with 2 feet. You have to stand on it with 1 to get a little extra length for this. Okay. In my starting position, I'm going to do a squat. I'm going to hold the other end of the band so it's also parallel to the floor, and just pretend it was like a barbell or something for this exercise. We're just going to keep it just taut enough that it looks like a firm object. This vertical part's going to be floppy. I want you to do a squat and stand back up. We're just going to do that 5 times. Squat and stand back up. So normal squats like we did in the beginning, where I'm using a forward hinge at the hips, and on the next 5 reps, I'm going to add the arms reaching overhead when I stand. So I'm going to go up to the ceiling, back to chest height when I go down. Now, hopefully, you'll feel as a challenge the ability to stay symmetrical because the sides have different loads becomes the hard part. Okay, pause at the bottom. All right. Now, the band, I want you to hook it around your arm. We're going to add a side bend when you stand up. So come up to stand, side bend, the band's against your side, back up to vertical, drop to your squat. You go up, side bend over, back up. Can we make it a little less choppy? Get fully up, over, fully up, down, up and over, up. We're going to do 4 more. So that was 5, 5, 8. Up and 5, 5, 8. If you know, you know. And over, up and down. Last one. Up, over, up, down. Great job. Let's switch it over. See why it's my favorite exercise? Don't you kind of feel like a jack in the box when you do it? Don't you want to feel like a jack in the box all the time? Just feel cute and pop up and surprise people. All right. Squats, minimal tension, let it go floppy, and then stand back up. Practice what we did in the beginning, weight in the heels the whole time. Counterbalancing the hinge forward and the butt backwards. Last one like that. All right, with the overhead press now. Down, root down into the heels, shoot those arms up, and then back down. So I want to sense this from the ground up so I can fight the uneven resistance of the band. So good for you if you have scoliosis or side dominance stuff you're working through. Yay. Okay, here comes your side bend. So first, get it behind you. Slow for the first couple. Get yourself up. Feel that big capacity. Side bend. Real big. Hit the ceiling. Come on back down. And again, get big. Feel the fullness. Side bend over. Back up. A little smoother now. Up real big. Pour yourself over. Find real big. Drop. Up and over. Back up and down. 4 more times. Lift. Side bend. Back up and drop. Up. Over. And last 2. Lift and over. Back up. 1 more time. Up and side bend. And come back down. All right. Grand finale. Real loose grip on the band. Ball up the ends. I don't usually start the exercise here, but this is what you have to test in looseness. Can you make it loose enough that you can take your arms overhead and behind you? Okay, so the looser it is, the wider range of motion you can get. So if you're inflexible in your shoulder, really loose. Okay, I'm going to be side facing to you for all the good view. This will involve a squat eventually again. All right, standing cat stretch like we did in the warm-up a different way. Nod your chin and start to curl forward as you do a squat. So we land in the cat flexion. Now, when you inhale, I want you to flatten your back while holding your squat, and you're going to reach your arms straight out to the sides. Very minimal tension on the band, but it should be taut there. When you exhale, tuck your tail under, swing your arms down, and roll back up to stand. Now, when you inhale, you're going to lift your arms, take it overhead. As it comes to the back, look up to the ceiling. Then the arms come back overhead. When they drop forward, follow it. Drop your chin, curl down into flexion. Inhale, arms out to the side, flatten your back. Exhale, tuck your tail, scoop the abs and put the weight in your heels. Arms go overhead, lift your heart, lift your chin. Back to neutral, arms overhead, follow it. Drop your chin, curl down. Get that nice deep flexion first. Now when you unravel, tail to head, match it with expansion wide through the arms. Exhale, tuck your head and tail, scoop, and then just stack up a bone at a time. Arms overhead, lift your heart, pull those shoulder blades back. Take your arms overhead, drop your band. Clap for yourself because you are a superstar of Pilates and you're all done. Okay, till we meet again.